this is Cash. Welcome to episode 2 of Grinds for Gamers. Today is the day after Halloween, so I am wearing my Halloween is over lamentation shirt. This typically every year, day after Halloween, is the day before Extra Life. So we're doing the Extra Life charity this year. If you haven't heard of Extra Life, go to www.extra-life.org. It is an amazing charity that gives the opportunity for gamers to game for 24 hours, get donations, and all those donations go straight to children's hospitals. Outstanding charity. Mog Nation is doing it tomorrow, so I'm doing a special episode. By the time this episode comes out, it'll probably be long past, but the episode is going to be what is Cash having for Extra Life. So I'm going to make what I'm having for Extra Life for the marathon to prep tomorrow. So my daughter's doing the charity with me, so I had to make something that she's going to like and that I'm going to like, and there's going to be plenty of, and we're going to be able just to do it quickly. It's prepared, it's already prepared, and grab a bowl full, we're good to go. So Cash is making tortilla soup, and for a treat on the side, I'm making almond bites. So stay tuned. Watch what we're doing. I'm going to prep all the food. We're going to get into it. A little shorter than last episode. Last episode, I showed you all my prep. I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. It takes a while. So, I'll have everything prepped. I'm going to have my cup of joe. Get going because it's early morning here in SoCal. And that's the only time I have to do this, because when the kid comes home from school, this ain't going to happen. So, anyway, cheers. I'll see you in a couple minutes when everything's prepped. Yeah, I know, you're taking a look at this, you're like, oh, Cash, you're so crafty. Yeah, well, you know what? Grinds for Gamers. Let's do this, you guys. It's better to put it all in bowls. I thought that looked kind of cool. So, anyway, here's the deal. I usually go with a crock pot on this. If you don't have a crock pot, no problem. Just get a pot, and you're going to set it on low, and you're just going to watch it and probably stir a little more than you would have to do with a crock pot. So, not a big deal. What we're going to do, all these ingredients basically, we're going right in here. You can see I chopped up all the veggies. I have my chicken broth ready to go. I'm not going to cut up the avocados because that's for garnish, and that's going to happen right before we serve the meal. So let's leave that alone. Right here I have 2 6-ounce cans of tomato paste. This is some cilantro chopped up for garnish. And then this is fire roasted crushed tomatoes right here. So all this stuff basically is going to get tossed in here. So let's toss it all in the crock pot, and then we'll talk about it after that. stirred up. See right there. easy as pie. Drop it in there, put the top on, set it for low. Let that thing sit for about 6 hours. Keep a close eye on it, stir it every once in a while, and you're gonna notice that it's gonna create more juice. When you give it a stir, you're just gonna stir around those flavors in there a little bit more. And the chicken's already cooked, you can see, so it's gonna be, did I say cooking? So once everything is all pretty much cooked down, you don't want it too cooked. Try and keep the stuff a little bit al dente. Al dente just means not fully done in some fancy language that I'll have to look up after this cast. But once that's all done, then that's when it's going to be ready to serve. You can put the cilantro on the top for garnish, a little bit of avocado. 100% good for you. Everything that's in there is good for you. Very low fat. As a matter of fact, you can add a little bit of fat to this if you want. It's what you're going to be doing with the avocado. So very well-rounded meal that you're going to be eating right here. So next, let's get on over to our dessert, and I'll show you all the ingredients for that. And let's make some almond bites. Okay, crock pot's rolling. That thing's probably going to take about 6 or so hours, maybe a little longer. Just keep that thing on low. Give it a stir every once in a while. Really stir up those juices and those flavors, those spices. Don't let the things get too overcooked. If you have a warm setting on your crock pot, put the warm setting on after it's done. You don't want the veggies to be too mushy and gross. You lose a lot of the nutrients when they're too mushy and gross. So try and keep them a little bit al dente when you're ready to serve. Add a little bit of fat to this meal because this meal is extremely healthy. Not a whole lot of fat in there, and that's why we have the avocado. So chop up the avocado, put that on the side for some good healthy fats. Okay, we're gonna move on to paleo almond bites after my phone continues to ring. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to just quickly go over what you're gonna do with a pot. If you don't have a crock pot, set the flame or the heat on very low. And just keep a real close eye on it. You're going to have to stir it a bit more than you do with a crock pot. So just set it on low. It's going to be about the same time, maybe a little bit less, because usually on a stove is going to be a higher temperature anyway than a crock pot's going to be. Okay, that meal's done. Let's move on to almond bites. Okay, next up, almond bites. Great sweet treat. It's good when you got a sweet tooth, especially after a meal. It's going to provide you with good fats. Very healthy. Let's get rocking on this almond bites. Okay, grab your ingredients. Everything is going to go into here, and then we are going to pulse it with my handy Cuisinart. You can also use a food processor to get all this stuff. You want to bring it down to a paste-like consistency. Let's add all this stuff in here. By the way, make sure that your dates are pitted, because if they're not, you're going to have a little more crunch than you probably wanted. Almond meal, or excuse me, flaxseed meal is going to be something that might be a little bit difficult for you to find. Most health food stores have it, and it comes in the form of this. Red Mill actually makes a really good flaxseed meal. So it's just basically ground flax seeds. If you want regular flax seeds, you can throw it in there too. But the meal really kind of helps give consistency to everything. So now we're going to move with the almond butter, and it's going to be about a cup of almond butter, so just kind of estimate it. And the other thing is too, you can look at the ingredients and see a lot of people worry about coconut oil. They go, oh my God, that's a lot of coconut oil. This is a little less than a cup, but don't be afraid of coconut oil. It's one of the best fat sources that you can possibly get for cooking, and it has a really high heat threshold, so you can cook with it and it still maintains all the nutrients without burning them off at high temperatures. All right, so let's pulse this stuff up. All right, epic fail. Don't use that little Cuisinart thing. They suck. They're not good for this. What is? Go into the big guns.
to a decent consistency here. Now what we're going to do is pour the rest into, if I can figure this thing out, all the rest of this gets poured into here. And from here, take your coconut oil, pour it inside here, and you're going to stir it right in. A little bit there, stir. And what this is going to do is the coconut oil, once it hardens up, is going to help along with the flaxseed meal to keep this thing, to keep each bite solid. And then what we're going to do is we're going to heat up the chocolate, and the chocolate is going to go on the top. So I'll show you. Stay tuned. We'll finish mixing this in. Okay, so I was originally going to put these into a muffin tin. And you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm actually just going to make it one big solid lump. So I got a Pyrex dish. So all we're going to do, stick it right into the Pyrex dish. Now the important step here is to make sure that you press it down, because that's just going to help with the stability of them when you cut them up and when they harden up. So yeah, don't worry. I wash my hands and they're clean anyway. So I'm going to press it down real tight. It's like the easiest recipe ever, and it's tasty as hell. Press that in there tight. Make sure it's even on the sides, because that's just going to make for a nice even cube once you cube them up. Alright, now we're going to get on to the chocolate. And the next step is just taking melted chocolate, drizzling it on the top of this. Don't forget, although I'm saying there's a whole bunch of good ingredients in this thing, that chocolate that I got is a 60 to 70%, they also call it the cacao dark chocolate, is really good, very high in antioxidant, and has a lot of good unsaturated or monounsaturated fats that your body and your heart crave. So don't be afraid of fats. Read my article on good fats and why you need them at Grinds for Gamers. All right, let's get the chocolate going. All right, easy mode. Chop up your chocolate. We're gonna put it in the microwave after we pick the black. 30 seconds on in the microwave, take it out, stir it. 30 seconds on, stir it until it's all melted through. This is not milk chocolate. This is dark chocolate, so melts a little bit differently. We're gonna drizzle it right on top of this thing, pop it in the fridge. Easiest dessert you've ever made. Chocolate melted. All right, so from here, all you're gonna do, drizzle some on, and then we're gonna try and just evenly distribute it as most as we can. You just want a thin layer, and once that thin layer is on there, it's just gonna give you a little bit of offset sweetness, and that's really all you're looking for. It's already gonna be pretty darn sweet because of the dates. All right, spread her out. Now, the beauty about this, no baking required. Just a little bit of heating stuff up, that's it. All we're gonna be doing is putting this in the fridge. It hardens on its own. There's nothing in there that's raw that needed to be cooked. So here you go. And one of the biggest things that you can do too, you can make little tweaks to this one. So if you don't like almonds, no problem. Use cashews and cashew butter. You can use a little bit of almond meal in there instead of flax. It'll probably, it's going to do the same thing to help to bind it up, and you're still getting good fats in there, and you're keeping it healthy. And really, this is a gluten-free recipe. These are your good fats in here, so this is probably one of the best snacks that you can get. There's no wheat in it. There's nothing that's going to give you gut rot, and it's an excellent supplement that's going to give you good monounsaturated fats. So that's pretty much it. Here we go. Done here. Show you that. Gamers, I'm back. It's been a few hours, and you can see I've had a shirt change because evidently in Southern California it is not winter yet. It's still blazing hot outside. So anyway, I got our paleo treats out of the refrigerator. Nice and cold. Here we go. Let's cut them up.
Gamers, I'm back. It's been a few hours and you can see I've had a shirt change because evidently in Southern California it is not winter yet. It's still blazing hot outside. So anyway, I got our paleo treats out of the refrigerator. Nice and cold. Here we go. Let's cut them up. Look at that. That's good. I made that. That's so good. I gotta go, I'm busy. Bye.
The stove is really dirty.